Hello, powerful one. Welcome to today's edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah Elimihe. We will be taking a look at dealing with negativities. Now, I am still your host, Osezuah Elimihe, and I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. What exactly is negativity? Any mindset that contradicts your conscious goals in life, that is a negativity. Okay, that's the superstructure of negativity. If you have a conscious goal in life, not an impulsive goal, but a conscious one, whatever negates it is a negativity. It could come by way of suggestions from people, from the books you read, from media. Now, because it is not yet a program, it is always easy for you to say, bug off, and you cut it out. Because again, like we have always maintained on this channel, there is no datum that is coming from outside that can have a foothold in your system if there is no programming that welcomes it within you. So if you have a system that wants a transformation, that wants to change from where it is, and there is no support for that decision to change from where it is, it doesn't matter the volume of data that you get from outside, it just won't work. And the consequence will be that you have conflicted feelings, which is another form of negativity. What therefore that means is that you are not able to move forward and you are not able to enjoy where you are because you don't like where you are, you want to go away, you are reading books, you are attending seminars, you are listening to sermons and teachings, yet you are not able to apply them. It is not your fault. Don't kill yourself over it. The reason you are not able to apply is because there is a datum or a string of data that are running as a program, knocking off your conscious intentions at the background, which is at the subconscious level. Therefore, you need to face it. In trying to change these negative data, how do you deal with them? There is this particular analogy that was being used from time to time in all of these courses. It is the Black Panther situation. You are in your living room and you want to go upstairs. On your way up, you come across a Black Panther right on the staircase across your path. The issue is, how do you deal with the Black Panther? Now, there are various ways of dealing with it. Now, again, I am not the one to tell you this is the way you should deal with it, but there are various ways. One of them is to ignore the Black Panther and just walk across, and I hope you succeed. Just ignore, pretend as if there is no Black Panther. You just walk beside or cross the Black Panther and go upstairs. Not bad. The second one is to escape from the Black Panther. Just take off, just run out of the house completely, go away. That's another way. Yep, I hope it doesn't chase you and get you. Then the other way is to avoid the Black Panther. To avoid it is to quietly just return to the sitting room and sit down as if nothing is happening, or you go outside the house, pretend as if you didn't see anything, and use another entrance to go upstairs, and then you again get to meet the Black Panther. There is another way of escaping the Black Panther, which is morbidity. You just faint, you just collapse. There are people who, in the face of danger, pass out. They just lose consciousness. There's another way to go about it. You just lose consciousness, believing that a wild beast will not feed on a dead body. Good for you. I hope you don't wake up and see that the panther is still waiting for you, hoping that you will wake up. And then there is another way of dealing with the same Black Panther. Attack. There is only one right way for a conscious person to deal with such a situation. It is actually to attack it. But what is your strategy? Do you go barehanded? Do you try and get a weapon? What do you do? Or do you try to make the environment of the Black Panther unconducive for it? A lot of people are avoiding the Black Panther. A lot of people are collapsing, losing consciousness in the face of the Black Panther. Some are escaping. It's a very common thing in Nigeria to see people use grandstandings to defend their ineptitude, their emptiness, their weaknesses. They don't want anybody to draw their attention to their weaknesses. What do? If anybody makes the attempted attempt to make them see their weaknesses, they fly off a handle. They become very, very violent. Instead of attacking the Black Panther of their lives, they are attacking people who show them the presence of the Black Panther, even while these people are ready with weapons to help them fight the Panther. They fight you for daring to say that you saw the Black Panther. And that attempt for you to help them is now seen as violence against them. They now see the weapon you are holding to help them with as directed at them. Why? Because they have seen the phenomenon of the Black Panther as equal to their lives. They have become one with the beast. You know, today is actually supposed to be the Independence Day in Nigeria. And Nigeria is how old now? 61? I lost count. Yeah, I think it's 61 or thereabouts. And there is one thing as a growing up person in this country that I have experienced. That people just learn to escape from the reality of their national lives. People learn to apportion blame. That is another way of avoiding the Black Panther. Whenever things are not working for them, they have someone to blame. They work in a place, they blame their employers, they blame the country. They blame their employers blame the macroeconomic situations, okay? And then those in government blame the people. And when you hear them have a discussion about the Nigerian people, what I hear them say is our people are not serious. They level the blame at the masses. And what do we, the masses, do? We level the blame at the leaders. What exactly is going on? Do we really want to take responsibility? The answer is no, we just want to blame. And as a grown up person, I have experienced that there has never been a decade in this country in which nothing major to discourage investment in Nigeria has not happened. There is a coup scare, you know, and the mood of government right now is not very, very, very palatable. Let's hold on. Let's just wait. Let's not invest now. Let's see what we can do. And then as we marched down civil rule, as we marched towards the civil rule, we started with saying, you know what? The elections are likely to be very bloody. Let us wait. Let the election be over first, and then we can see whether we can still, you know, do this business. Election dragged from 1992 to 1999. We had a June 12 fracas that almost turned this country down. And I said, as an undergraduate in those days of the June 12 crisis, that if Nigeria can survive this, then nothing can bring Nigeria down. I thought it was the worst Nigeria ever experienced. You know, every young person who was an undergraduate in Nigeria as at that time knew what it meant to smell the tear gas, knew what it meant to feel the wrath of the military and the mobile police officers, popularly known as MOPO. Okay, a lot of people took a beating of their lives. Some were raped, some were dehumanized by occupying forces on our campuses. A lot of upheaval happened. We actually didn't think this country would survive. Of course, we did. Then we hit the South relief in 1999 thinking everything was going to go rosy. And then we started having various pockets of unrest going on. Suddenly people started realizing that their people were denied political offices, appointment and everything. Other people started seeking that their regions should produce the president. All kinds of things started going on. And then, of course, we had the Niger Delta volunteer forces attacking and breaking down, destroying government installations, making this country ungovernable to a large extent. The evil continued. What is evil? Like I said in one of the videos here, evil simply means any mindset that has very low love content in it. Whatever you do that does not get the pull and push of love is evil. So if you were to accuse evil people, curse evildoers, you have to watch yourself. Your actions, are they informed by love? If your actions are not love propelled, if your actions are not going to instigate love in the environment that you live in, and then you curse evil, you will share in the curse. In the first place, the idea of even cursing itself is evil, because you have to have the cause to give it out to somebody anyway. So you give what you have. So people who curse, people who slander, people who lie against people is because they are loaded with it. The Lord Jesus Christ said, a good person out of the good treasure of their heart bring forth good. But an evil person, out of the evil treasures of their heart, they bring forth evil. It is a common thing. Now, with all of these, we thought we had an escape until from 2014, after we thought, okay, Boko Haram was having its own, and I actually never thought when that insurgent group came out, I never thought for one day that I would mention their name. But here am I mentioning their names. All my posts in those days on Facebook, I never wanted to mention because I just felt that they were purely disgruntled elements that should be rooted out, but somehow they became very solid. And in recent times, in the past 4 or 5 years, we have seen a very inimical approach to the problem, where we as a people tend to give credence to the actions of these people. These so-called insurgents, we commit a crime, then we attack a place, it will be all over the news, everywhere. And there is hardly any attempt to cover the response of this country to it. We see the response of our military and police as a political party's response. Now, the shame of this country is that we have come to equate the actions of government to the actions of a political party, and that in itself is disgusting. It is evidence of a people who have failed to cohere, who have failed to grow as a unit. My experience of politics in other climes is that during elections, politicians fight dirty. They fight in every way possible. But once the election is over and the people, so to say, have been heard to have spoken, what then happens? The various political parties come together and they mend fences. They say, we are one country. And they begin to heal the injuries, the negativities of their partisan expressions did to the country. But in Nigeria, it is the direct opposite. During political election, they give arms to people, they kill, they maim, they terrorize this land. When the elections are over and one particular party wins, what happens to the others? They gang up to make the country ungovernable. So you ask yourself a simple question. For whom are these people campaigning to be in power? Are they doing it for this country, for the masses, or for their selfish ends? So when people come to me or people go over the place saying that the problem of this country is insurgency, is herdsmen, is politicians, is unemployment, is ethnic, rivalries or identity, whatever they call it, I just look at them and I tell them, you have not looked at the problem. The problem of Nigeria is only one. It is acute low self-esteem stemming from poor self-perception. We have not had a dignified image of ourselves as Nigerians. We have always seen other nations, other nationals as better than we are. But it was not this bad at the time. When we had the super egos, when we had the Nigerian military of the 90s, of the 80s, and of the early 2000s, we were proud. We had something to be proud of. We could say that Nigeria was somewhat a superpower. When we had the likes of the track and field, heroes like the late Sunday Bada, Mayo Yanli, and of course people like the boxers that gave us the silver, Peter Koyengwachi, and the rest of them. We were proud to be Nigerians because we could see results. But why have we lost all those things that we no longer rule the tracks? Okay, we are no longer kings in football. The military has been insulted because of inside games, because of political miscalculations. Why are these things happening? It is because we have not drawn a line between politics and national interest. And the idea of politics that our people play is self-interest at the expense of the country. We all know what corruption does to people, that it is terrible. But guess what? When corruption favors one side, it is good. But when it does not favor the other side, it is bad. Somebody once said that Nigerians hate corruption because they are not the ones benefiting from it. Okay? So, at the end of the day, we need to wake up and say, okay, let us face our problems. We are a people experiencing sub-apathy. Okay? We have gone from depression to sub-apathy. And what can only happen is death. And there are some people who are canvassing the death of this country by asking that it should be split. And we hear them make reference to Yugoslavia. They will make reference to the Soviet Union. My friends, if you were to look at activities of war all over the world, you will notice that that is after the Second World War and now, there have been over 125 armed conflicts in Africa. 125 armed conflicts, both civil wars and all kinds of things in Africa. There is no continent on this planet that has had even half of that. Now you go to Europe, all the wars that have happened, especially in Eastern Europe, and then of course, let's just take the whole of Europe. In the Western Europe, all the wars they have fought are basically war in Afghanistan, taking troops to Afghanistan and Iraq to have some skirmishes, fight and whatever they do there. But the rest were all wars that were fought as a result of the breakups in Yugoslavia and of course the Soviet Union. Now they will tell you these people broke away. What is happening? The truth is that what is happening there is unrest and lack of development. And then you want to bring the same thing into your country. Just like you have not suffered enough. You feel that you have a date with suffering. Therefore, you must pull it down by force. We are a cohesive nation. I have traveled east, west, south, and north. Nigerians are the same. We are looking for the same things. They say we are so divided, we are not together. I am telling you that the build up to the US presidential election in 2020 revealed to me how deeply divided the American state is. The level of armaments that were being built up and the level of soldiers on both sides that were massing up, ready to defend themselves against any eventuality. The videos I saw online stunned me. I didn't believe America was that divided. Nigeria is not close to it. Yet, the politicians did not take advantage of that situation. The mainstream media gave them a blackout. They were not shown in the mainstream media. Yet they talked about the divisions, but it was not at the level it was because they did not want to glorify it. Why did they not want to glorify it? Because they understand that when you throw attention on negativity, you start, talking about it, it will grow. If you want to give attention to negativity, to be the attention that is aimed at attacking it, not the attention that talks around it. Nigerians are good. Turn on your television set right now and see what is going on. People are busy talking about what is wrong with Nigeria. This was why the other day I told people, friends, stop broadcasting, stop taking contents that speak ill of this country, because on the long run we can't stand it. It is happening already anyway, because when you speak evil, you are watering it, you are allowing it to fester. Someone told me, they keep, not just me, they tell everybody, they say it everywhere, that a particular musician or some people, they are prophets. They sang about the ills of Nigeria as far back as 30, 40 years ago, and these things are still happening today, and I laughed. The truth is this: when you keep drumming evil on the minds of your people, it grows there. Where do you think evil populates? You think it populates in the sky? No, it is the minds of people. When you give attention to it, you give it to the people. This is what is happening in your country. Okay? You have useless leaders. You have useless people. You have corrupt people. You start pushing all these negative buttons. What happens is that it goes into the consciousness of the people. A child that is yet unborn will feel the emotions of these things in the mother's womb. And of course, there's no saying it that the average Nigerian child today does not think that Nigeria is a system that works for them. And they have to go. If they had the opportunity, Nigeria will be empty. We will be left alone here. Why have we created a monstrosity that we cannot control? What people do is drum the rhythm that is contrary to the negative rhythm in the land. That is how to attack evil. You don't give evil the attention that makes it express itself. No, you don't. When evil is drumming left, you drum right. That's how to fight it. If he's saying we are going to die, you drum we are living, we are prospering, we are progressing. That is the way to kill evil. Now, some people say they go to churches, to go to the mosque, to go and pray against war, against evil. You are just encouraging it. What churches and the mosques and religious places should be doing is praying with gratitude, expressing hope for this country. Nigerians, take your mind away from what is not working. Put your mind on what you want to work and focus on it. That is the only way there will be salvation for us. Because we make our realities. If we are so loaded with the imagery of failure, of retrogression, it will happen. Now, I have had times to watch the Nigerian football, the Nigerian female football team. I have watched their games against some European countries. And most of the games that I watched them play, they always played so well. They played with a level of confidence. But at some point, you just saw that they lost out. They always ended up losing, especially to European countries. Especially Western European countries, always lose to them. Why? It is a mindset. And that mindset is not even available at the conscious level. It is at the background. We are not as good as these people. The way we speak about our country, the way we carry the image of our country is the devastation. If you check why did Nigeria do so well between 1994 and maybe 2000, it was because of the kind of message that was being brought out then about Nigeria. As bad as Babangida's administration, General Abacha's regime were, there was something that they never gave out. They had a sense of national pride. You get it? In fact, when Nigeria beat the USSR then, President Babangida said, now Nigeria is also a world power. You get it? So football became an avenue for expressing the dominance, the power of the Nigerian spirit. Because we were preaching the Nigerian possibilities, even at that time, Nigerians were proud. The players had a can-do spirit. But today, it has all gone to the dregs. So at the end of the day, we have destroyed our countries with our own mouth by focusing on things that are not working and harping on them, singing with them, laughing with them, caricaturing our people and our leaders. What we are now getting is the consequences of those caricatures. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a people think, so they are. You think you are not worthy? You think your country is cheap? I was coming from Los Angeles all the way to Lagos, Nigeria. We stopped at Shippo. There were these young Nigerians who were with me on the plane. They were very decorated, they were very calm. The moment we entered the Nigerian airspace, check out their composure. It changed. They started talking nasty about Nigeria. We came out of the tube. One of them was telling there were three of them, they were telling his friend, bros, Omo, put on your Bluetooth for Wi-Fi. They were saying, where? Now, Bynes. These are boys not more than 23 years of age. Now, Bynes. I looked at them, I shook my head. You see, there is what they call aspirational mentality. It doesn't matter what your country is going through right now. Develop a sense of aspiration. I always use this to counter those who are pushing certain people, musicians or whatever they call themselves, artists, as prophets. I said in that same period, there was a man called Martin Luther King Jr., who was confronted by the sufferings of his African American people in America. They were being killed. They were being segregated against. They were being treated on the basis of the color of their skin. What did the man do? Okay, he had to block his eyes to the current reality, so he had to speak of a dream. I have a dream that one day in this country, my child will be judged according to the content of his character rather than the color of his skin. At that time, it was an impossibility. Such a dream was an impossibility, but he dreamt it against all odds. In Nigeria, what do we have? People who focus on the negative things in Nigeria are celebrated. When there is no light, we make music out of it. When there is no water, when there is police brutality, when there is all kinds of negativity, we make enduring content, artistic content on them. We think that is way to be socially responsible. And if you were to ask me what became of the civil rights movement under Martin Luther King Jr., it succeeded in a big way. Blacks are now voting. It's because somebody gave it a direction. Today, I have not seen any mainstream leader, because I don't know that they are scared of taking responsibility of leading people. They just want to push the blames to the corridors of power. I don't care about people in the corridors of power, because I think a government should run communication programs to transform the minds of the people. We must understand that we were not born in Nigeria by mistake. We were born in Nigeria by divine plan. Therefore, we have a mission. Instead of you running away or whatever it is you are doing, you should stay and build your country. Nobody will build it for you. But instead, what people are doing right now is people are trying to amass wealth for themselves at the expense of the country. What kind of safety are you building? You'll be the only rich man on the streets, and you think life will be good for you. All right? Let's see how you will enjoy that your wealth in a dysfunctional system that will ensue over time. It is time parents start educating their children and letting them understand that there is pride being a Nigerian. The more the challenge we face, the stronger we are, because no problem will come to a people that they don't have capacity to deal with. None. As it is with a human being, so it is with a country. You have a problem because you have the capacity to deal with it. What more can a brother say? I'm simply saying that we should learn to dream again. We should learn to look into the future. And the future is not tomorrow. It is right here. As we mark the 61st independence anniversary, I am only going to beg us, if we desire a great nation, it must first of all happen in our minds. It must first of all happen in our minds. We must have it in our emotions. We can't have a hope. We hope that Nigeria will be better someday, Sha. And in our confessions, in our feelings, we hate the country. It is insulting. If you do well, and I do well, all of us do well individually, we will help this country, because the corruption that is affecting sports today is created by you and I. We created them. The corruption that are happening in civil service and every place of work, they were created by us. A corrupt leadership only survives on the basis of a superstructure of corruption, or the foundation of corruption. If the people are not corrupt, you can't get a corrupt leader. I keep telling people, study your Bibles very well. You will have the sociology of the Jewish race. You will see there. Whenever they had the people of Israel turned away from their God, you know what he did? He gave them bad leaders. Yes. So let's always understand this, that leaders are product of our creation. If we wake up today to become conscientious people, to become conscious constructors of our destinies, our leaders will follow us. But we have made the corridors of politics so amenable to negativity, to hoodlums, and all kinds of negative systems. And that is why they are surviving. That's why they are growing at our expense. Stop feeling evil about your country. It is not about what your country has been able to do for you. It's about what you have been able to do for your country. Unfortunately, it's nothing. You have always acted as if it's not your business. Which one concern me? And Nigeria go chop. That's what we do. Therefore, it is not working. It is Take your mind away from ethnicity. It is a ruse. It is a game that they use against. Some people feel that, okay, there are some external forces that are working hard to make sure that Nigeria does not prosper by creating problems for us so that they can always come and reap the benefit of this country for their countries. And I will not fault that logic. It happens. It's one of the games people do. Like I said in one of my videos, pains are common. It is a product of the games other people play, but suffering is optional. It depends on how we respond to those games. We as a people should be able to checkmate such activities. If we don't, and if we succumb to the hues and cries for separation, the consequences will last nothing less than 3 decades, because there will be continuous war here. I'm hearing the different nations that are trying to pull out of Nigeria. Different nations are going to United Nations to register their need to pull out of Nigeria. We see more. It's not because the country could not stand. It is because the people gave their hearts to the message of seduction, and they embraced escape from their responsibilities, and their country crashed right in front of them, and now they have nowhere to go, but they became occupants of refugee camps. That is what would happen unless we wake up today and take charge of our lives. And there's no way about it. Is to do the death work. Roll up your sleeves, go down to the depths, charge your pastors, charge your imams, charge your religious leaders, charge your local council people. Wake up and take up responsibility. Take up the duty of moving your country forward. And of course, question your media. Any media house that is good at propagating negative stories about this country, boycott them. Stop watching. They are killing you. They want you to believe that your country is going to break up, things are not working well. Ignore them. Who are they? Which of them match up with foreign medias in terms of content, style, and everything? Which of them? They are good at criticizing, but they forget that they too are being watched. There are things that are very vexatious in this country, and I do not think we should give our attention to those things. What we should do is focus on what we can do. All Nigerians should stop being critics. They should stop being complainants. They should start taking responsibility in their little corners. Make the growth and the actualization of Nigeria your responsibility, no matter how small it is. Okay, a man was walking by the beach and saw so many starfish scattered on the beach. I think the waves brought them. Obviously, they went beyond their frequency. So what happened was that this man was walking by and picking them and throwing back into the sea. An onlooker came and said, sir, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm picking starfish and throwing them back to the sea. He said, there are so many of them. What difference will it make? He picked one and threw it into the sea and said it will make a difference to that one. Every single step is appreciated. Take a step. You may just be one, but you are just enough. Take your step. The idea is to say, in my corners, things don't go wrong. I don't know about your corner, but make sure that your corner is healthy. Make sure that the game, there's a thing called Kokizagani in my place, in this land. You know, it's like we form a cycle, we have this pad, clock, we roll it, and we are throwing it. The thing is that as we are throwing it, somebody's catching it and throwing it to the next person. He says, this pad will not fall from my hand. That's what it is. You have a responsibility. Those were moonlight plays that they used to teach us social responsibility. It's like, do not concern yourself with what others are doing, what failures may happen to others. Be concerned about what you are doing. I watched a Chinese documentary in the days of Chimamanda when they were building China. There were engineering groups that were building dams, bridges all over the place, and there was a competition amongst them. The first to hit a milestone got rewards. There were two front runners in the competition. One of the two of the front runners suffered a machine breakdown. For them to go and get a part, it will take them like 5 days of journey, and that would mean they will not be working. While they were thinking of it, the other team that was competing at the neck and neck level with them heard what they were going through. And the leader of that team found out that they needed a spare parts to fix their machine. He gave the spare parts to them to fix their machine. Why did he do that? The man realized that they were building the same country. It was all for the good and glory of China. Today, African nations are going cap in hand to China, asking for bread and butter, money. You can see them all over the country. Home here, we are fighting ourselves. I have seen elite, so-called educated people with PhD, how disgusting, fighting, daring to give their voice to the need for us to split. And one thing is very sad about this need to split is that it never happens, but it creates a very dark cloud around the country, and it discourages investment, discourages economic development. It is a story we are telling ourselves that one day we will break. There's going to be war. War will not come. And if it should come, you are not my friend, because you don't listen. That's all I can say for now. I cannot do it more than this. I can only tell you that to combat your negativity, face it. It is a situation where people are irresponsible. They are not willing to take the responsibility that is required of them. Be not like others. Be wise, learn, grow, and if you grow, your country will grow. If your country is not growing and you are growing, and you cannot help your fellow man to grow and to progress, then you have a problem. You have no right to even speak amongst humans, because you have failed to understand what it means to be a true human being. Happy Independence Day.